Morning, all. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Okay, so it's activation time. A little bit of TBA, maybe a squat activation if we get up, if we roll up. A little bit of back, so Superman flying, and that every time. He does that every time. And then, so we'll see. We're activating TVA, specifically lying down and doing tripods. We will be doing a little bit of back activation for those of you with weaker back muscles. And I am thinking squat activations, but we'll see when we get there, because usually the activation takes a bit of time and it's quite slow. So when you're ready, you can lie down on your backs. Breathe in. And take your feet to the floor and just take your legs from side to side to wake up your back. I just woke up, so I just got my sleepy back. And the cat slept with me the whole night, so I had to sleep very carefully because she's quite fussy where she sleeps. And every time I move, she finds a new spot on top of me. She likes to sleep on top of me. And I felt too bad kicking her off because she never sleeps with me. So I didn't sleep well because of the cat. And now she's off. No appreciation for what I've done for her. Side to side, arms out. What is sore, Louis? What is sore?
No, nothing.
Louis is struggling to cross his legs and to open them up. And back to the middle. Feet together, legs open. Let's just do this to stretch out the minion. Maybe if you are minion and you're struggling, put your hands on your inner thighs and squeeze them down a little bit. You can roll from side to side to just get that stretch in. I mean, we did do wide-legged stretches yesterday. Maybe that's why it's sore. And just bring the legs back to the middle. So TVA, it's that muscle in your lower abdominals that has that bracing feeling. It feels like someone's tightening a belt around your waist when you use it. It can stay in the whole time and you can breathe normally. It stabilizes the back, and it is notoriously lazy and difficult to activate if you don't know where. So I think by now everyone is quite familiar with it, but we'll just start again with that. So just lying there in your back in neutral, just pull your navel to your spine. It's such a small move. You can't see the movement. You just feel it. Feels like someone's tightening a belt around your waist. You're bracing a little bit and hold that in. Oh, sorry. It's the cat. Hold that in and don't let it go. Navel to spine. You're not pulling in your stomach. You're not making your stomach skinny. You're just pulling navel to spine. And you'll feel as soon as you do that, your back straightens out immediately. So just hold that. Don't let it go. You can put your fingers on your tummy. Now, it's not the big one running down. It's not your rectus abdominis. So it's not going to be hard. The rectus abdominis activates when you crunch. So when you do any movement where it shortens, that you can feel if you don't have my blubber. But it's not that one. It comes around and it stabilizes the back. So just pull that in, keep that pulled in. We're going to keep that pulled in the whole time. Now, don't let it go. Breathe normally. Take your arms over your head. Don't let it go. Don't arch your back. As soon as your back's arched, you've let go. Stretch it out. Still keep that in. Stay in that stretch position. Now, the stretch position is a lot more difficult for it to hold its position. So you really have to pull it in and brace to have it work. And then bring it back. Your arms down next to your sides. Lift your legs up into a 90-degree angle, which is more or less there. Straight arms on the knees, palms on the knees. Hold it there, navel to spine. Shoulders down. You can put your hands on your tummy. And all you're going to do to test this, unless you have a really dodgy back, but I don't think anyone has that I know of out there, is you're going to let go, which means your back's going to arch immediately. I want you to let go and feel the difference. and then pull it back in, navel to spine. So the difference is if your legs isn't 90 degrees, you're not going to feel it because your legs is not going to be heavy. So your legs needs to be out far enough for you to feel the drop. So let it go, drop. You feel the difference?
Mm-hmm.
And pick it back up again. Okay, so that's the TVA. Hugging your knees, just stretch out your back. And take it back to 90 degrees. Arms straight, palms on your knees, arms into the air. And we're going to do, we haven't done the dead bug in ages, but we're going to do it so slowly. So you're going to have that navel to spine, and one opposite leg and hand is going to go out very slowly. And you're going to hold it there. Navel to spine. Now it's working really hard to keep your balance, to keep your back safe, for your back not to arch. And very slowly bring it back. Ooh. Take your feet down. Oh, that's okay. Take your legs down. Just roll your legs from side to side. Just let your back rest because that's quite tough on the back if you do it slowly. Okay, again, back shouldn't arch. Knees up, 90 degrees, and hands in the air. Other arm and leg is going slowly out and holding it in place. Now you have to be able to breathe normally when you're holding it. And slowly back, 90 degrees. Now we're going to fasten it up a little bit. So opposite hand, slowly out, not as slow, but still not fast. Navel to spine, you should be able to breathe normally, bring it back. Navel to spine. So the back is not moving, apart from maybe a slight movement, which is really slight. Your back is stable, your TVA is working its butt off, and you're balancing the two limbs without collapsing to any side. Such fun, isn't it, to do it slowly? I hate doing stuff slowly. Makes it so much harder. Now breathe normally. Keep those ribs tucked in because that helps stabilize the TVA. So ribs in and enjoy. Chin tucked in. If your legs is kicking, when you kick it out, just kick it out a little bit higher, or just do toe dips like this. It's a lot easier. It's not a lot easier. Sorry, that's not what I mean. It's easier on the hip. And bring it back. Hug in your knees and take your feet to the floor. Take your legs from side to side. So how did you find that, Minion?
Yeah, it's good.
TVA, the lazy one. Did you feel that working? Did you manage to stabilize the back? Activation is fun because it's slow and tedious and painful. Okay, back to the middle. Bring your feet in underneath your knees and just do a few spinal curls because you've had quite a stabilizing effect on the spine there and probably braced a little bit. So just loosen up your back by going up and down. And hug in your knees and roll up, ooh, to a seated, onto your hands, knees. Just in time. Okay, onto your hands and knees. So still TVA. Julian, if your shoulder doesn't like this, you can go back to dead bug. It's the same muscle you're working. So for anyone who's got shoulder, or I think I've been pumping up the swimming pool a lot. I think I've got tennis elbow because of that. So anyone with twinges like that can just go back down onto their backs and do what we've just done. Okay, onto your hands and knees. Stabilize your back. So again, And this time you're working against gravity, which makes it a little bit more difficult to keep that in. So with your hands and knees, on your hands and knees, just pull your navel to your spine. Sorry, I'm just getting my fringe out of the way. Navel to spine, hold it there. Quite simple, stabilizing. You should feel it stabilizing anyway. Push away from the shoulders, navel to spine, and just hold. Now again, like we've done on our backs, I just want you to let go and feel the difference in your back. With me, I look pregnant when I do that. And then tuck it in again, and you should still be able to breathe normally, navel to spine, everything quite normal. And the first activation is simple. Again, if your wrists doesn't like this, you can go onto your fists like this. It doesn't matter. You're just going to stick out the right leg in a straight line, hold it there without dipping. Navel to spine. Keep that leg straight, feet looking down. And hold that. We don't like this. Squeeze the bum to hold the leg up. So let the leg not work as hard by the fact that you're squeezing the bum. Now pull your navel to spine again, so keep that straight. Bring that knee in. Tuck it into your chest, round out your back. Still navel to spine. Hold that. And push it back into a straight line. Feet flexed, not dipping to the standing leg. Bum squeezed, navel to spine, pulled in, and hold. And now go down onto your elbows, lift up that leg a little bit more. Navel to spine, still there. We're just going to take that knee out towards the shoulder without dipping to the other side. So you really have to control everything in your abs. Push it back in a straight line. Squeeze your bum. And out to your shoulder, or just towards that. I can't go very far with that without collapsing. Don't collapse. Stick it out to the back. Come back onto your hands again. Stick out the opposite hand, hold. Keep the balance. Oops. Don't look around. Navel to spine. Bring it back and just sit back. Into child's pose to rest the wrists, shake them out, rest the shoulders. Fun times. Our TVA is transverse abdominals. TVA, transverse abdominals. It's the deep ones that goes around to stabilize your back. Okay.
E or B?
TV, V, like that. Transverse. Okay, now that we've helped Louis, back onto your hands and knees, navel to spine. Again, stabilize first and then let go and just see the difference. And then push it back up into that navel to spine feeling. Lift up the other leg without falling. Foot flexed, leg straight. Keep it tucked in and just hold. Navel to spine. The standing glute medius is holding you stable. The leg at the back, the glute max is squeezed in to keep that leg up, and the TVA is keeping everything stable. Now again, that knee to your chest and hold. So you kind of round out your back like a cat stretch. And without collapsing, push it back. Flex the feet and hold. Elbows down, and there I just dipped a lot. I can't stabilize that. Keep that leg lifted. And we're just going to take it to the outside shoulder or in that direction. Trying to hold your balance because you're throwing yourself off the midline now. Pushing it back. And you should have felt that move in your, did you feel that? In your tummy, Louis?
Yeah.
Bring it out again, stable on the standing leg. Push it back. Straight line, lift it up. Onto your hands. Up onto your hands. And then lift the opposite hand up and just hold. Balance. tummy in, squeeze the bum, just hold that position and bring it back to child's pose. Ooh, I find that extremely difficult. How do you find it?
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't think it's okay. I really struggle with that. I think I need a lot of work in my TVA. Okay, now we're going to do tripod walk, so it's a little bit more intense.
We've been easy without the cheese platter.
Oh, we ate too much over the weekend. We're such obesities. I think it's starvation week this week.
Definitely.
Okay, shake it out. My tennis elbow, oh no. Shake it out, tuck your toes under. And we're just going to lift up the knees in that tripod like that. And we're first just going to hold that without collapsing. Push away from the shoulder. Navel to spine. Drop down the knees. Keep the toes there. Just hold it. Just push back a little bit to stretch out your back. And then come back. Okay, now we're going to start. Just slowly walk it forwards and back, but we're going to do it really slowly. So lift up the knees again. Take your right hand, lift it up, and take it slowly forward. See if you don't fall. Bring your right leg forward, slowly. Left hand, very slowly. I'm dipping a little bit, but try not to dip like me. And then the left foot. And your back to tripod. Navel to spine. Now take very slowly the right leg back. The right arm without falling, so hold the balance. Left foot. Left arm. Tripod. Knees down. Relax. Is it only me who finds that difficult?
No, it's difficult.
I really struggle with that, especially if it's slow because you have to hold your balance. Oh. Okay, we'll do that one more time slowly. So when you do the movement of the arm, try and keep the balance and not collapse with your hand onto the mat. Okay, I'm going to let you do it. Okay, are you ready? Onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under. Activate your transverse abdominals and lift up the knees without collapsing the spine. Now take the left hand slowly forward and the left foot and the right hand and the right foot. And balance. Bring the left hand back and the left foot and the right hand. I can't anymore. And collapse, I'm sorry. Enough. Collapse. Ooh, you can lean back a little bit to stretch that. Oh, it's only me.
No, it is hard, and also I dip when I do it.
I dip as well. I cheated so much now, but I just can't do it. I'm just such a cheat. Okay. The other thing we're doing today, I'm just going to turn around for this because I need some space with my arms, is we're going to do a little bit of lower back activation for those of you who struggle with lower back strength. So you're going to slide forward onto your tummies and plonk yourself down. Send your arms forward, and again, because it's activation class today, it's slow. It's a slow activation. You can put your forehead on the floor. So send your legs out nice and straight. Arms out forward. And we're literally just going to lift up our limbs slowly. So forehead down. Flex your feet and straighten out your legs to make this a little bit more difficult. Engage your glutes. And you're just going to lift up your right foot. So this is now the glutes working. Your head is down. Squeeze your bum. Tuck your TVA in, because if you don't, your back arches. And you're just sending up the opposite hand and holding it. So a little bit of back, but the glutes and the TVA is working as well. Navel to spine feeling, head down. And take it down. Lift up the left foot. Squeeze that bum, flex the foot. Keep that very active navel to spine, don't arch the back. Lift up the other arm. And again, don't let the shoulder run past your ear, push it back and down so that you don't use your upper shoulder muscles. And bring it down. A little bit faster. So it's like dead bug, but on your tummy. Navel to spine, opposite hand and foot. Lift it up, flex the foot, squeeze the bum. And down, other side. And down. Now we're going to do both. Both legs up, flex the feet, squeeze the bum, navel to spine so that the back doesn't arch that much. Both arms up, and you can lift up your head now. And all we're going to do is Superman, swimming. So you're just going to kick your legs and your arms like you're drowning. Bring your navel to spine and just kick it. I just want to move, I can't stand this benches. No way, irritates me. Flex the feet. Shoulders back and down. And relax. Arms next to your sides. Just lift up into swings where your chest is just lifting, so you're not going into the lower back too much. Hold that. Slide your arms back and just put your fingertips on the floor behind you. And keep that lift. You've had coffee, this is not great. Shoulders back and down. This is very powerful for the back, especially the thoracic spine. So the shoulders are up. You don't have anything to put pressure on it. Send your arms back. So lift up your legs so you're now in that reversed boat. And hold that. Navel to spine. And all you're going to do is relax down slightly without collapsing. And you're going to lift it up into that boat. And down without collapsing. Everything is still lifted. You're kind of just breathing up and down without collapsing. If your back is sore tomorrow, it's only because the muscles worked. So it's not because of anything else. Don't worry too much if you've got a little twinge in your back tomorrow. Up and down, and you should start to feel that.
Is feet flexed?
No, mine is pointed. Mine's pointed
as well. Is it wrong?
No. Last one. Bring your hands into swings and push back into a child's pose and just let that stretch a little bit. Ah! Wow. That is painful. Painful, painful, painful. Move a little about. Now you know which muscles worked in your back. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under downward facing dog. And just get a nice little stretch in. Shoulders back and down, tummy in. Navel to spine. And just walk it out. Take your time to get that stretch in. Drop the heels down. If you can, keep the legs straight. That helps a lot with calf stretching. But don't worry too much if you can't. And walk it forward to the front of the mat. Keep your legs bent and fold over your knees. And let that stretch into your back as well, because your back has done a little bit of bending. You can heel toe your feet hip distance apart. Fold over your legs. And sit your bum down on your heels like that. Now, some people are magnificent and their heels goes down. I can't. How far is your heels from the floor?
Quite far.
Yeah. So this is where my problem lies. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of toe chairs, just a little sequence. It's not to necessarily tire you out. It's just to get everything in the heels and the ankles and stuff, not the heels, the ankles and stuff activated. This usually means I can't walk the next day. So that's our activation, the ankle and squat activation. So very simple, but a lot of toe chairs to get the ankles strengthened and stuff. So when you're ready, you can stay, obviously, if you're not on your toes, that's amazing, but you can go onto your toes. We're going to put our hands in our chest, and we're going to lift up. We're going to stay on the toes into that toe chair. And kind of just try and hold your balance in your ankles. So try and keep them stable. Your back is straight. Your hands is in your chest. And then do that walking out thing where you push the heel down, but there's not a lot of movement in your hips. So all the action is coming from the ankle bones, the ankle muscles, all the mobility is in there. The rest is just staying as is. Nice and slow, get all the cracks out. Keep that chair position because that puts a little bit of pressure on everything. Then go back onto your toes and straighten out, but stay on your toes. Tuck your tailbone in. Stay on your toes, shoulders back and down. Don't do it. See if you can hold that. Now go sit back into that chair. And we're only not lifting up our arms because we don't want to overexert it. So we're not doing shoulder work with this. It's just ankle and heel work, and then walk it out again. Look, I'm cracking a lot. And go onto your toes and go all the way down, stabilizing the knee onto your bum. The next one, we're going to do a little bit of calf work, but very specific calf work. We're going to do posterior, tibialis posterior. So not the big calf muscles, you know. So with that said, stay on your toes, go back up into the chair again. Stay on your toes, straighten out. Not falling. Heels down. Turn your feet in. So this is shutting out some of your other muscles in your back lower leg. Toes in, and you are going to try and keep that tailbone tucked in from the front. It looks like this. You're going to try and keep your tailbone tucked in, and all you're going to do is go up and down, and not do what I just did. Up and down, nice and slow. So with the toes in, tailbone tucked in. You don't have to go. If you've got my balance issue, just try and move it instead of going as high as you can. Can someone see why this is something I need to do? Tailbone tucked in. I can't do this at all. Oh my goodness, this is like I need to hold on to something. You can hold on to something, by the way. So if you're holding on to something, it's obviously easier to get those movements in. So do hold on to the wall if you keep falling like I do. And if you really struggle or it's really painful and you really do have an issue with that muscle, if you sit down and you do this seated, it's taking a lot of pressure off and you get to activate that muscle specifically if you struggle to even do it with a balanced standing where you're holding on to something, which only seems to be me, if I'm honest. I don't think anyone else has this problem.
It's quite painful though.
It is a lazy muscle. Someone like Louis, his feet flatten, and me, when they do squats. That is usually a very good muscle to activate if you have feet flattened. And all the way back to the middle. Turn your feet forward again. Hip distance apart. Now we're just adding the arms for fun. Take a nice deep breath in, shrug the shoulders back and down, go into a chair pose. And you can see actually, if your knee goes in a little bit, as soon as you push your knees forward, and you can tell that your bridge is falling, that the thing we've just done is a nice little, you can do it seated, you can do it standing with help, you can do it on a chair, stairs to help you with that distance, but that's a nice little exercise to help with that. So push back, push your knees forward. You will know as soon as they bob in or flatten. Go onto your toes. Do your little walkie walk. Go back onto your toes. Heels down, chair pose, push your knees forward. And we're going to slide down and stretch out. We're done with activation. So what did we learn? To be honest, a posterior, for those of you with feet flattened, with the calf exercise with the feet in, go and try that any way you can. I think I've established that I need to do that. I fell over a lot. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Hands to the mat, step back to downward dog. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Knees to the floor. Cross your legs. Sit on top of your bum. So that was just activation. I actually like activation sometimes. You haven't done an activation in ages. Shrug the shoulders back. That just means you've isolated muscles and specifically worked at them. So to improve their range of motion. Sit up nice and high, no bubbles. No, that's not at all starting. Sit up nice and high. Shrug the shoulders back. We're just going to twist because we've done backward. So opposite hand over opposite knee, sit up nice and high. Shrug the shoulders back and down. Switch over to the other side. Bubbles. Bubbles. Back to the middle. Take a nice deep breath in. And you're excused for today. Have a lovely Monday. See you tomorrow. I saw this low plank thing I want to try. Ooh. I know. Oh, don't catch him. I will see you all tomorrow. See, this is my bed partner. Look. She slept on me the whole night. No bubbles.
Oh, gravity.
Crow was there as well. But he's under the bed. We've got the zoo in our room. Hello, Holly. Okay, see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Awesome day. TVA, Anna, B. See you all tomorrow. I'm glad to see everyone is in again. I see the sun is shining, but it's still windy. Let's hope it improves. And low plank tomorrow. Yeah?